morning, ladies and gentlemen of the USA and Canada. My name is Tyler Storm, and I'd like to welcome y'all to the 20th episode of StormWatch. This fucking summer is starting off with a bang, and I'm not talking about shabang. I'm talking about explosions, baby. Fire so great that you can see it from Mars. Well, if we could ever fucking make it there. I don't think at the rate we're going, we're getting off the planet anytime soon. But before we get into any fucking breaking news, we're going to start it off with our own Shabang. Jack Daniels, Tennessee Honey. You ready for this? I'm not ready for this. Rocket fuel, baby. Good enough to melt steel beams, and good enough to make me feel better about everything they're doing to our state. Love you, Florida. Shabang. That's basically, it's like sweetener. It's like drinking fucking raw, excuse me. It's like if honey came from the ghetto and you went down on her. This is water. This is not coffee. But also, in honor of the new graduates, congratulations. Welcome to the world. We fucked it up a little bit well, I didn't fuck it up. To a degree I did, but there's still people who fucked it up to a grander degree than I have. So shout out to my cousin Kaylee. Love you. Congratulations. Enjoy the world, you autistic little fuck. 2017, holy shit. I got a reunion next year. I got a class reunion. You know what? Growing up in Titusville, every fucking week is a class reunion if you go down to the Irish pub. You will go down to the Irish pub and you'll see everyone who has graduated from 20... What's the legal drinking age? No, I don't even know. 20... I don't know, 2020 or something. You'll be seeing every fucking class, though. The point is, you're going to run into your neighbors, your cousins, your brothers, your cousins' neighbors, brothers, cousins, your friends, your other friends, your friends of the friends of the friends of the friends, and then you're going to run into a bunch of old people who are trying to get in your pants. So you'll be invited to more than one class reunion if you fall for the traps. That's my point. But it's a class reunion every week at the Irish pub. So I don't even know if I'm going to be going to mine next year. What, you want me to be stuck with these fucking degenerates in a high school gym? That sounds terrible. Where are they going to host it? Probably at one of these fucking shitty golf courses. They're just terrible. Shabang with that shit. By the way, Drake dropped the fucking 3 albums in the time that it took from the last episode till now, and they are terrible. They're not terrible. They're very, how do the kids say it these days? Drake's albums are mid, bro. So fucking mid. He needs to really get back to rap maxing because this is just, it was not okay. He had a few good hits on there. I'm not even going to lie. He had the Ran to Atlanta, which was fire. He had the Shabang, which is the fuel for my jokes today. Ah, shit. Speaking of Shabang, I forgot to Shabang. And 1, 2... Just like the Blue Origin launch the other day. Failure to fucking launch and even make it off the pad. Look at this. Didn't even get anywhere. But you know what? Storm's missile program is much gooder than that. Wow. Direct hit. Hey, you can't launch missiles back. This is not the fucking Israeli war right now. Biatch. Direct hit 2 times. Just like the little kid hospital. Fuck him. Hit him with 2 missiles. Hit him 2 more times. Bing, bing. Ming, ming, ming. Shabang. Shaboom. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, Drake. He dropped that album, hence the glove. A lot of fun. Probably not my favorite of any of his work, but it did sound like 2010's Drake again, and that was kind of nice. It's that one track that I just referenced. Oh, no, Janice, shut the fuck up. Love that. It feels like Timbaland and Drake actually got back on a beat again, and that was refreshing. That was beyond refreshing, because I'm a little bit tired of the trap rap Drake. I want to hear more of this Drake with the melodies. You know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick said, go back to being a sing-song nigga. Stop trying to be the gangster that Lil Wayne taught you to be. You are not him, my nigga. You are not him. You are a queeb. Chill with that shit. The 6 ain't dangerous. The 6 ain't dangerous, buddy. Come down to Florida for a month. See if you can even survive the heat. See if you can survive the explosions out at NASA. Come on now. Come to a real dangerous state. We are the Australia of the USA. Come see if you can fucking test your metal down here, bitch. Don't get eaten by a gator. Don't get eaten by a gator. Now, where was I at? Album drop, mid, Iceman. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to use this as the transition. There were a lot of good watch references on there, and he ordered a new fucking turquoise Daytona, apparently, a piece unique in honor of the whole Iceman thing. Beautiful watch, absolutely useless. I really, really, really do not like gem set sports watches. And a chronograph, a Daytona? I get why people do it. And I understand the hype behind, like, the Panther Daytona, the Rainbow Daytona, the fucking Zebra Daytona. I get it. There are many ways you can make a Daytona fancy and add a bunch of fucking gems and diamonds, but it does nothing for you. It's one of those moments where you're putting a hat on a hat, and beautiful colors. I like the actual color of the dial. It was a Tiffany blue, and he had turquoise sapphires, diamonds in it. Probably sapphires, let's be honest. He's spending the extra money, and it's a piece unique out of Rolex, so fuck it, why not? Not bad, but my watch is better. You know why? Because it's mine, and it's on my wrist. And it's actually a fucking Blancpain and Swatch collaboration, because I couldn't get a fucking hold of the AP yet. I promise you it is going to become an edition of this desk at some point. But I'm not going and paying some fucking reseller, $1,000 for that shit right now? I'm a reseller, and I understand that this market is going to be in steady decline over the next month or two as they keep releasing more and more and more and more. I drove to fucking Orlando, though, and they're not selling it there. Bitches, motherfuckers, they're selling it down at... I'm not going to tell you where they're selling it, actually, because I don't want any of you to go ahead and get that shit before I can get to it, before I can get my fucking hands on it. But I promise you, that shit, as God is my witness, as the good Lord is my fucking witness, yes, Lord, we will get that AP Swatch for the desk, yes, Lord. But, motherfucker, sorry, I had an itch on my ear. But until then, we did another Swatch collaboration, and this is the Ocean of Storms. This is not my favorite watch. It's a good swimming watch, but it is truly just... meh, it doesn't feel good on my wrist. Well, let me give you some of the fucking details anyways. Case material, black bioceramic case including crown. It's a plastic fucking watch. 42.3 millimeters in diameter with 14.4 millimeters in thickness. It is a little bit chunky. Excuse me, here, I'll take it off and even show you what it looks like. That's the side profile. It's not overly thick, but for a plastic fucking watch, it has no need to be this chunky. Lug to lug, 48 millimeters, System 51 mechanical movement, the same thing that they put in the AP Swatch collaboration. It's all the System 51 movement. It's all the System 51 movement. It's a cheap baseline movement that they can throw into all of these fucking plastic watches and not have to worry about them breaking too much. A little bit resistant, a little bit reliable, but all in all, not it. Is the camera overheating like the AI data centers? Go ahead and unplug it then. Unplug that shit, just like the AI data centers. Yes, Lord, fuck them bitches. And fuck Blue Origin and fuck NASA. I keep jumping back to that. I'm way overexcited. I also have a rocket in my hand. I'm way overexcited about this because for the first time, I'm starting to be right about shit. I'm starting to. With Cuba, with Florida, with NASA. Just you guys wait. I'm going to start being right about more things. And you're all going to hate it. And you're going to hate yourselves for not listening to me. And then you're going to hate me more for having said it. But you should hate yourself more than you hate me. Maybe, like, if you don't plan on listening to me in the new coming holy war, just kill yourself now. Okay? Join the cult. Join the Storm cult. Join the masses. Join the truth. Follow in the fucking footsteps of Jesus and God. Yes, Lord. Water resistant 50 fathoms, 91 meters, 300 feet, 9 bar, bio-sourced material glass. It's a plastic watch. It's a plastic watch. It's a plastic fucking watch. Bioceramic, my fucking dick. Well, I would hope it's not bioceramic. That shit will not last more than a few months. NATO strap made from recycled fishing nets, black bioceramic pin buckle and loops. Fantastic, beautiful watch. I don't like it. I don't like it. I even gifted it to my girlfriend because I could not stand to keep wearing it anymore. And I've not heard any complaints from her. I don't understand why you have to wind it in reverse. Most of them you wind clockwise. This one you wind counterclockwise. I'm not a fan of that. I'm also not a fan of the date window being at the in between the 4 and 5 o'clock. I find that to be atrocious. Hideous. I saw a watch the other day though that had a date window at the 9 p.m. marker. Oh, fucking sex. I actually think that might be one of the things I'm about to talk about. Funny enough, because not only am I going to do my watch this week, I found out that there was another fucking festival. Wouldn't you know it? There's another award. There's an award for everything. Everybody gets an award. But this one is for you film nerds. It's the Cannes Film Festival. Cannes Film Festival? Cannes Film Festival? Cannes Film Festival. The only reason I know that about this thing is because I saw a video of Tarantino winning an award there one time, and he just flipped off the woman in the fucking crowd who was shouting at him. It was fantastic. It made me actually very happy. But the watches worn at this festival were a bit of a step above mine, I must say, a bit of a step. Except for this one. I actually hate this one. Whoever Leonardo Sbaraglia is, he was wearing a Louis Vuitton Escale Twin Zone in rose gold. It reminds me of my Zurich Atmosphere. Zurich is, for those of you who don't know, an American micro brand, and they produced, I think, some of the prettiest and most reliable watches you're gonna find under $1,000, around the $500 mark regularly. And they're great. I do like them. I've used my Atmosphere for 3 years now. It is a stainless steel, but it's the gold-plated stainless steel, black leather strap, and it's got the globe printed on it, just like this Louis Vuitton watch does. So, my point is that for 1/10 of the price, I had a better watch. Have a better watch. Fuck this guy. Hate that watch. I really do hate that watch. Adam Driver, dude, one of my favorite actors of this generation. Him and Robert Pattinson are, I would argue, some of the best actors of this entire generation. Top 5. And he wore an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak self-winding flying tourbillon open worked sand gold and 41 millimeter. Those open works, man. It seems like you see them on every celebrity, but the point is when you have money and you find a piece of art like that, would you not put it on your fucking wrist? Why would you not? The sand gold is gorgeous. It's this toasted brown, and it's almost cream, like a cream color. Love it. AP's my favorite brand. I even actually love Vin Diesel's. He came in with a code 1159 Star Wheel, and the Star Wheel is what it is. It's got the fucking minutes set at the top, and it's got these 3 rotating wheels or columns. And every time it comes around, the new hour rotates up and it goes over, and then it rotates over, and the new time starts the second the other. Once 60 minutes hits, the first minute starts up with the next hour marker. Beautiful watch. Beautiful watch. I think it's a beautiful watch. Most people aren't Code 1159 fans. That's funny enough. That's actually the nickname for my girlfriend. That's how it's one of my favorites. It is actually one of my favorite dress watches in every form or fashion. I know it's super thick, but I've never seen one not on a leather strap, and it's so fucking classy. If it's not even leather, if it's fabric, if it's rubber, they're so classy. You know what I mean? And who is this? Vincent Cassel in the Audemars Piguet Neo Frame Jumping Hour. This is the year of the jumping hour. Nico Leonard dropped a jumping hour with Man, and I didn't get a hold of it. You know what? Actually, we're going to clip this. Nico Leonard, please do another jumping hour drop. I'm begging you. I didn't get to be on time for the last one. I had too many fucking things going on in this world, trying to start this podcast, get moving, all of the other financial issues and woes that come along with it, and I couldn't get the watch at the time. So please, Nico, be considerate of your American fan base. I'm out of Florida. Either Figure something out and fucking re-release the jumping hour. Or hook a brother up. Come on now. Hook a brother up. I got a watch review segment and shit. I will gladly review that watch without hesitation if you say, come on, hook a nigga up. Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't fuck with me now. Send me some. Let's go. Let's go, brother. By the way, Nico Leonard is actually one of the guys the guy who got me into being an over nerd about watches, because I've collected watches my whole life, but I never really understood how much not only history and culture and knowledge and I mean, there's really just so much to watches. I didn't even realize how much a part they played in the general market. And watching those clips, I know they were a lot for humor, but there was also a lot of information on them, and that's partially what got me into this, because I'm a fucking nerd 10 times over, if you can't tell. Comics, watches, movies, TV shows, like everything, sex stuff, fucking 9/11, the things that matter, you know what I mean? Ending it on 9/11 is fucking... Ella Beau Travolta wore an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Mini Frosted White Gold. Respect. Nothing to say. Odessa Azion Chopard Happy Sport White Gold 36 millimeter. Now, you see, this is a diamond set thing that I understand art piece. I respect the art, hate the watch. This is the Chopard with a full diamond encrusted bezel, diamond lugs, leather strap, and it's even... Oh, are those pave... Those are fucking pave numbers. Cool. Hell yeah. But it's got floating fucking diamonds in it, and it's retarded. It is... I hate diamonds. But it's on a woman, so you know what? Diamonds are a girl's best friend. It's just... Come on, you know what? She's young, she's Jewish, she has the money. Why not? She's hot, she can do what she wants within relative reason. Helena Christensen, Vanguard Pink Ceramic Orb Watch. This watch is disgusting, but I love the very center of the dial. The little open work piece that they have going on. Marion Cotillard wore a Chanel Premier Galon, Galon, yellow gold with diamond watch. This is an itty bitty thing, which it looks like a bracelet that has a movement attached to it. It's all black dial, diamond encrusted around. It's a Chanel watch. It's a fashion watch. This was not meant to be like a nice watch. This was just fashion. Rami Malek, you need to stop showing up to events and go back to eating children. We know this is what you do in your spare time. But I see you on every red carpet event, and I see you in no films. So either go back to eating babies or go back to making movies. You have one of two options. These are your options. He wore a Cartier Tortue watch in 18 karat yellow gold, another Tourneau shape. It's just, I don't like his watch collection. I find it to be bleh, 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 bleh. Sebastian Stan wore a Cartier Roadster in yellow gold, another, Jesus Christ, man. All yellow gold. Again, respect to the Cartier, but ugly. And Michael Fassbender came in with a Cartier Tank Americana in yellow gold, which is just a JLC knockoff, but I like Michael Fassbender, so... And this watch actually isn't as ugly as the other fucking two. Sorry, skipped out of the thing. As the other two. So, a little bit of respect to it. I like it. I get it. Cool. Coleman Domingo and Omega Seamaster Aquaterra stainless steel 30 millimeter with diamond. Yeah, whatever. I'm not even gonna dignify that. Carlos Sanz wore a Gerard Perregaux Tourbillon with 3 flying bridges. This one is probably my favorite piece of the entire night. I know I love AP, and I basically sucked AP's cock the entire fucking last 10 minutes. But there is something about this Gerard Perregaux that is... Wow, it's all set on the 3 bridges in the like... Wow, please, when you get a chance, look it up. I just, please. It looks like it's set in rose gold. It's got the 2 gems as the almost focal points of the center of the dial, like center of the bridges. You have gem, the hands set in the middle, and then another gem. It's that one I like a lot. Gianna Jun wore a Piaget Treasures High jewelry watch. It's Piaget. It's diamonds. This is the one I talked about. You know what? Fuck what I just said. Polakowski wore a Piaget Altiplano Origin watch. This is the one that oh man. This is the sexiest, classiest watch of the entire evening. It's rose gold, brown, what that looks like, alligator leather strap with the fucking date window, the little cyclops on the fucking 9 o'clock. Oh! That is sexy to me. I can't explain why, but there is just something about that makes my mouth water. It is such a fucking sexy watch with the second hands in between the 4 and fucking 5. Not a stupid fucking date window. Not a stupid fucking date window in between the 4 and 5. It's got the fucking small seconds in between the 4 and 5. Beautiful watch. Beautiful watch. Miles Teller, you wore a disgusting piece of shit. You wore a horrible watch. I just watched you in Whiplash and I gained respect for you. I watched War Dogs and then Whiplash. We're going to get to Whiplash in one of these episodes. Phenomenal. Wow. Love that movie. Fantastic. That movie, like I'm getting hyped, goosebumps, all the things fucking talking about it. But you wore a fucking disgusting piece of shit watch. Horrible watch. Tiffany & Co. Union Square 30mm mechanical. Tiffany & Co. Casey Motet Klein wore a Gégé Lecoute Reverso Tribute Chronograph in pink gold. Yes, my nigga. Yes. That shit is wow. For those of you who don't know, the JLC the Gégé Lecoute Reverso was made for polo players, so that way they'd be able to protect the face of their watch. They would flip it inside out and have just the back side of the watch in case the polo ball hit it. Beautiful. But it's become a dress watch. The funniest thing now is that we take sports watches and make them dressy. It's like athleisure. It's disgusting. If we're talking actual fashion, this is disgusting. I just watched The Devil Wears Prada the other week, and I have to tell you, there is so much I didn't know. But turning a sports watch into a dress watch should automatically just be like one of those things you understand is no. And then Eva Longoria, Patek Philippe Nautilus, reference 3800-1J. Yes, baby. White dial Patek Philippe. White dial Patek Philippe in all fucking gold. 18 karat gold. Fucking 18 karat gold. Hour markers and hands and second hands. Oh, Eva, baby, you killed it. Eva, keep that shit up. Keep that shit up for Eva. Holy shit. Holy fuck. That was fantastic. Now, before we step away from watches and into the modern world and what's going on, we're going to retouch on some subjects. We're going to touch on these subjects like Epstein touched on kids, like I touch on titties, like R. Kelly touched on, there's no verification that he touched the 13-year-old, but we know he peed on one. So like, does that even count? Okay, so my thing is when I see piss, I move. You know what I'm saying? Like, she looked like she nude well enough to stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had that shit. There was foresight at the foreskin. You know what I'm saying? She made eye to eye contact with that little brown eye that he got between his legs. And she watched the yellow sun of light glisten down upon her. I see piss, I move. You know what I'm saying? Clearly she didn't. But you know what? We're going to touch on this like that Israeli tech manager decided to touch on little kids. Speaking of, guess what? I told you guys this would come back around. I told you we were going to talk about this again, and you motherfucking cocksuckers didn't believe me. My energy's picking back up. If you couldn't tell, I was a little bit slow at the beginning. That shot got me and all these other things. I need a little bit of sip of coffee. I need a little bit of sip of coffee. No, you bastard. My glove is Shabrown. Yes, it's Starbucks. I'm not supporting a small business. I know. Fuck me. You're Native American. Aren't you supposed to be supporting every small business? I wanted good coffee today. Okay? And sometimes the local coffees aren't that great. 9 times out of 10, they're good, though. Shout out Sunrise Bakery. Shout out Black Cat Bakery. Shout out Pier 13 Coffee. Shout out... Are there any other coffee spots? Shout out future coffee spots of Titusville. But I wanted something. Tom Artyom Alexandrovich. What kind of... That is a Jewish-ass name. That is a motherfucking Jewish-ass name. Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, a senior cybersecurity officer for the Israeli government, Israel National Cyber Directorate, was arrested in Nevada was arrested in Nevada on August 6, 2025 during an undercover child sexting operation in the Las Vegas area. By the way, 6 months ago, more than 6 months ago, oh my God, we're almost touching a year ago, like he almost touched a kid a year ago. This is disgusting. A year, and he went back to Israel. You know what's funny? I keep seeing these Jewish criminals that get released and they all flee to Israel, just like the Chinese citizens flee to China. Because guess what? There's no extradition laws for these fucking places. Fucking pieces of shit. And on top of that, with everything that Trump has going on, we're not even gonna be allowed to say kike. We're not even gonna be allowed to look at these damn Hebes in the eyes and call them the kikes that they are. You goddamn curly-haired fucks. Fuck you. Go on, Moishi. Goddamn bastards. Where was I at other than insulting Jewish people? Jew. Hey, fuck you. It's worth it. It's worth it. I don't mean... Insulting all of you is worth it to me. I'm not even gonna lie. If I could insult all of you with one word, I probably would. You know what? Kike does it. Nigger does it. Faggot does it. Cunt if you're American does it. If I say cunt to any other European, they're just going to be like, aye, good on you, cunt. So they just say it back endearingly, like we say nigga. But if we go over there and we say nigga, we're getting charged and thrown in jail. So where is the world where I can say nigga, cunt, and faggot all in the same sentence and no one look at me weird? Where is this? I'm starting this one day. Join the Storm Cult. Join the Storm Cultalition. And... help further the truth that I push into this world. Help further the truth of God. Help further, me into you and us into the... We gotta bust through that ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Like in 21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street, you just gotta... gotta burst through the ceiling, but right through the fucking ceiling, right in its tight little ceiling hole. Police arrested Alexandrovich after he allegedly chatted online with a decoy posing as a 15-year-old girl and planned to meet her at a Las Vegas location for sexual contact. He was in the U.S. attending the Black Hat Cybersecurity Conference. So he was talking about how to secure his computers so that way they couldn't figure out he was talking to kids. That's the only thing I get from this, is that he was at a cybersecurity meeting to figure out how to tell people to not look at his computer. To make people not look at his little kitty porn. Bastard. He was charged with a felony luring a child with a computer for sexual act. Well, I would hope. Wait, why is he only getting charged with one felony? One? Alexandrovich posted a $10,000 bond shortly after being booked. $10,000 bond for messaging an alleged 15-year-old to meet up with them for sex in a foreign country. $10,000. You paid 10% of that to get out of fucking jail. You paid 10. I got a $10,000 bond when I got bonded out of jail in Georgia for having possession of a firearm and weed on me. Allegedly. These are the alleged things. And I got charged. The fucking judge had the audacity to say, we're going to be nice and knock $1,000 off. $10,000 motherfucking dollars. I got charged the same price to get out of jail as a pedophile. I got charged the same price to get out of jail for weed and illegal. The pistol was registered in my name. I bought it in Florida. I bought it at Premier Pawn in Titusville. Motherfucker. No, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck this. Why? I wasn't doing anything violent. I was leaving a fucking sneaker convention with my goddamn bitch ex-girlfriend who was driving too fucking fast. And now all of a sudden, and now and then I had to year and a half probation and other fees, and this kite cocksucker gets $10,000 bond when he was meeting up with a child? I need a shot for that one. I need some rocket fuel. Holy fuck, man. I'm exploding like the goddamn Blue Origin rocket. I'm exploding like this goddamn Jewish bastard was trying to on a child's face. I'm exploding like goddamn Drake is on the internet right now for rapping about sleeping with 13-year-old. Well, we don't know if the women are allegedly 13. He's probably sleeping with adult women most of the time. But we can't verify anything anymore. And I'm so... Woosah. Y'all ever watch Bad Boys? Oh, we're gonna do that one day too. But there's some pressure points in your ears, in the lobes of your ears, that if you massage and you calm yourself and you do some breathing, it will remind you that the world is not so evil and Jewish bastards deserve fucking equal treatment too. But he was doing to me, the kid. Oh my goodness, man. I'm like so frustrated. I think I've like spilled water and liquor on this fucking tape. There is no holds bar right now. I'm sorry, guys. This is one of those moments where I actually am legitimately pissed. I'm making jokes so that way I can get through this pain. That's my entire life. That's been my fucking life since I was a little fucking kid. And guess what? Now you guys get to experience it with me. Motherfucking bastard. No extradition laws. No, I gotta take this shot before I keep going. Oh, I'm like shaking from that. Look at this. Look, I'm like, oh, that like actually pissed me off. That like, what the fuck? It's also the caffeine. And the liquor. But you know what? Shabang. Hold on. Shabbat shabang. Shabbat shalom shabang. Poison. That shot is poison. I lied to you. It's not water. It's pure vodka in there to rinse my mouth out. I woke up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. So I grabbed a bottle of Ciroc and I'm swishing my teeth with it. Not really, it's water. Fucking, it's water. Don't drink the water in Titusville, by the way, guys. I'm pretty sure that they're microdosing LSD into the general water supply, so that way people start to slowly go insane. I've never seen this town ever do anything good. I've never met anyone in this town who does good things. It, like, fully good. But that's like every episode. I mean, we're going to even get into this. Because, by the way, guys, this entire episode is about you Brevardiates for the most part. I know I've spent a lot of time talking about the things that I like. Well, it's because I'm more important than you are. I am Jewish descended, after all. I am one of God's chosen people. What does that make you? Goyim. $10,000 bond shortly after being booked. Because he bonded out so quickly, he left the U.S. and returned to Israel before his case went before a judge or conditions like passport surrender could be applied. A Clark County grand jury later indicted Alexandrovich. Went Jewish. A Clark County grand jury later indicted Alexandrovich. He has pleaded not guilty through his attorneys, who have argued over the details of the age verification on the dating app used in the sting. Due to extradition policies, it is highly unlikely he will return to the U.S. to face the charges. What did I say? This motherfucker went to meet up with a kid? It is gonna be will never be extradited back to the U.S. Just like this guy had a fucking biolab in Vegas, funny enough, before hantavirus is released, and he's not getting charges either. He was just, what is his name? Ori Solomon? Yeah, this dude had a fucking biolab in Vegas. Here, we're gonna even I looked up the old article, but I gotta, Jesus Christ, man. What, he's getting out on bond or something? Let's look at this. Federal prosecutors have dropped their case against the man arrested and so they're dropping the case. They're dropping the case. There were people who went to this house and died. There were people who walked up to the house and died. They They walked up to the house and died because of the shit that was in the refrigerator. They opened the fridge and they were wearing hazmat suits and somebody died because of the shit that was in the... Ew. Because of what was in the fucking fridge. Funny. So, okay. We're gonna list off a few things because I like to laugh, and I know you do too. Just over the last year, we have had a biolab found in Vegas, property of Chinese and Israeli citizens, by the way, because it was a Chinese man, but an Israeli citizen. People can be double agents. We had a mayor in California who turned out to be a Chinese spy, just admitted to it, and she's only going to face maybe 10 years in jail. That's it. Unless she flees to China, and again, there's no extradition policy for the Chinese to send them to us. There were 2 siblings, Chinese, who acted alone and planted a bomb at one of our U.S. Air Force bases. There was I'm starting to get a headache because I feel like people are kind of not paying attention to the slow and subtle takeover by the Israeli and Chinese governments. But what do I know? I'm just a goy living in schmaptivity. Whatever. So yeah, Biolab guy is released. And you know who else just got released? And this is a funny one as well. That fucking brother, that 16-year-old stepbrother who killed his fucking stepsister on the cruise, he got released as well. Motherfucking shit. You know, the advice I gave, I understand. Honestly, it was probably pretty good advice. You probably should kill your siblings at some point. I mean, most of them are pieces of shit, I'd imagine. Fuck them. And on top of that, what, you want to split stuff with your family? You want to split stuff with your siblings after your family dies? No. Fuck that. Kill them. Just throw them over the cruise. Throw them overboard. Be gone, biatch. Yeet. Fucking Shabang, throw. Shabang, she gone. Shabang. I love this glove, man. It's brought out a whole new side of me. It's the Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Drake club. You know what I'm saying? Other than I'm like basically them, except I don't touch kids. But if you gave me a pie made out of human, there's potential. We went over this. I did this whole skit a while ago. Oh, by the way, this is stuff we did cover. All of these things are things with the stepbrother who killed his sister, episode 16, fucking Queeb Down. Go look at that if you want more details. In the Israeli Biolab, if you want more episodes again, episode 7. That is the Casa Epstein episode. That was...
There's a rocket going off right now.
There's a rocket going off as we're recording this. The fucking irony of this. There was literally a fucking explosion this morning. We're recording this on a Friday. There is a rocket launch going off right now at the same time that we are recording the... You know what? Fuck it. Shabbat Shabang! The storm missile silos. The storm missile situation. Fuck the Cuban Missile Crisis. This is a storm missile situation. Oh my goodness. Casa Epstein, episode 7 for the fucking Israeli Biolab. And the Israeli tech pedo... I don't actually know when we touched on him. Just like he almost touched on that kid. I don't know. But let's be honest here. If this girl had, met up with this guy in Vegas, her stepbrother wouldn't have killed her. So maybe there's something to be learned here about choices. Maybe there's a lesson in here about if you would have gone to meet up with that pedophile, you might still be alive. You might have actually been bought out and had to sign an NDA. You could have made money off of this. And at the end of the day, isn't that what most things are about, is money? Shabang cha-ching? Shabang cha-ching? Cruise ship killing stepbrother can stay out of jail, judge rules. The 16-year-old boy accused of killing his stepsister on a cruise is allowed to stay out of jail with certain restrictions, a federal judge in Florida ruled. Excuse me. In February, the teen was charged as a juvenile. A 16-year-old was permitted to live with his uncle instead of being held in custody. But in April, when the case was moved to adult court, prosecutors said the teen should be detained. So, I don't think he should be allowed to live with family, considering it was family he killed. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is a stepsister. What, is the uncle on actually his side of the family, or is it on hers? Is this step-uncle? What are you doing, step-uncle? I'm raping you after you killed my daughter. What are you doing, step-cousin? Throwing you off a cruise ship. Ah. Splash. Okay, I couldn't get the splash. Wait, hold on. I do have a water bottle here. I fucking forgot that I brought this over here for the recording. What are you doing, stepbrother? Throwing you off a cruise ship. Ah. Love that. Love that. Don't love that he's allowed to be free. Not a fan of that. We do not know what triggered him, prosecutors argued in court Wednesday. Who will be the next object? Who will become the next object? Wow, I'm so fucking this up. Who will be the next object he will become fixated on? Hopefully at least another step-sibling, so it's not in his direct lineage. There is some consideration there. Kindness. The suspect arrived at court on Wednesday with his father, his uncle, and was seen wearing an ankle monitor. The judge ruled he's only allowed to leave his house with his uncle and will be electronically monitored by authorities. He's just gonna kill his uncle and wear his fucking face, and then he's gonna ride around wearing his uncle's face everywhere. Great, now you're gonna make this boy turn into Ed Gein. That's not right. Brevard County Ed Gein should not have such an awful start. Is that another cruise thing? Another one. Speaking of another one, Cocoa man sentenced to 15 years in prison for sexually molesting a child. Ooh. He looks like he molests people. He looks like he molests the shit out of little girls. Holy shit, he looks like he touches them and then asks them how they felt about it. Holy shit, that's wrong. Lock that man up forever. Lock him and that, what's his name? We're not going to let these die. I am going to remember these names at some point. It's just really hard to remember these Jewish names because it's all just Alexandrovich and Judge A. Morrison Jr. may have a lot in common. They should have tried to save this little girl from her stepbrother. You know, if this guy had acted sooner, could we have saved this girl's life? Just a thought. Cocoa area man has been sentenced to 15 years in prison for sexually molesting an adolescent female relative. It's always the people. It's always someone you know. Just like in Scream, it's always somebody you know. It's taking up too much space on my desk. Judge A. Morrison Jr., 58, pleaded no contest on May 5th to one count of lewd and lascivious battery of a child younger than 15. He was arrested by Cocoa police in February 2024. The same night, the victim told her parents that Morrison entered her bedroom, asked if she could keep a secret, offered her $5, then forced her to perform a sexual act. $5? You think that $5? When we first started this podcast, there was a guy who I read about who offered a fucking 15-year-old like $200 or something like that to just expose themselves. This dude offered $5. Motherfucker, you may as well offered food stamps to that child. What the fuck? So they can go buy an ice pack for their butthole. What the fuck? $5? Talk about lowballing. Lowballing. Oh my god, man. I guess the kid may have been little and that could have been lowballing into the kid. No, the Thai women just walk straight into the balls. Lowballing for real. And forced her to perform a sexual act. Assistant State Attorney Jay Fowler had prepared evidence and testimony, including the victim's DNA found on Morrison after the police took him into custody. He did do it. Witness testimony that Morrison admitted to a lapse in judgment when confronted by family about the molestation. A lapse in judgment? You offered $5 to a 14-year-old to have sex with them. Not only did you undervalue the person and offend them and I honestly, this is like one of those moments where you go in and you're like, you're talking to a car detailer and you're like, okay, I know that it costs $200 to get my car detailed relatively decently. Would you do it for 20? But this is worse because you're trying to like take a virginity that's worth at least $600. $5. You can buy a gallon of gas and a Snickers with that. I don't even think you can buy a Snickers with that. You can buy like a pack of cigarettes or a gallon of gas. You can't even buy a pack of cigarettes anymore at $5. How is this kid gonna buy their cigarettes and talk to the How is this kid gonna buy their cigarettes and talk to the therapist about you touching them afterwards? You didn't even pay for a pack of cigarettes. Fowler said the plea agreement and sentence was an acceptable outcome for the victim's family and the state. The victim's family. The victim's family is also the fucking criminal's family. Welcome, Shabang Shabak, ladies and gentlemen of the USA. Sorry about that. The Mossad couldn't handle my Jewish jokes, so they decided to cut my fucking camera. They have these rays where they can not only make you go insane, but they can overheat your fucking cameras with just a fucking push of a button. Disgusting. Goddamn kike bastards. Standing in the way of greatness from one of the Jewish descenders. I see. I'm not as pure-blooded as you, so you must destroy me. You must. What if I am truly of What if I am truly of a descendant of Moses? Could I not be? What part of me says no Moses? Can you logically give me an answer? Have you seen me and Moses in the same room? No. We got a lot in common, actually. I was raised in a good upbringing, but I relate to the lower income people a lot more. I'm descended from brown people, but I'm a bit lighter skinned than the rest of them. Allegedly, Moses was an albino. I'm pretty religious. I mean, I'd say I'm pretty fucking religious. You wouldn't know that or guess that by this, but it is there. And we both have walking sticks because I can't lie to you. Hiking with a walking stick is so fucking... It makes you feel like an adventurer. It makes you feel like Lewis and Clark minus the Native American rape. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, unless you're really into that, you can corner one of them. But like, I don't recommend it. It doesn't really benefit anyone. It's just sad. You know, when you think about it, is there anything sadder than the rape of the Native Americans? Ever? In this entire world? Ever. 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 Sorry, Pocahontas. Or I guess Pocahontas. Do you hear that? The world's smallest violins. They cry out for you. Where was I? Something about the Spider-Man meme. Oh yeah, because the victim's family is also the criminal's family. So if it benefits the fucking victim's family, how does it not benefit the criminal's family? It provides a solid measure of punishment for the defendant's criminal act and at the same time prevents the need for this young girl to testify at trial and have to relive the incident. She got paid enough for cigarette, or almost enough for cigarettes. She's going to be reliving this instance for a while. She's reliving this instance as I'm talking to you about this instance. Probably at home, like having a seizure, just like Whitey and fucking 8. What's the goddamn Jewish Adam say? 8 crazy nights. Jewish crazy Christmas. It's Kwanzaa. What do they celebrate? Hanukkah. That. It's spelled with a C though. It's Chanukah. Where was I? Fowler said it makes the community a safer place because he's not going to be here. You can't guarantee that later on. Besides the prison sentence, Judge Charles Crawford signed an order declaring Morrison a sexual predator. Well, yes. That will impose Florida's strongest permanent registration requirements and residency restrictions on Morrison when he exits prison at about 70 years old. So he'll still have 30 good years left of molesting. 30 good years. If he lives to about 100. It all depends on how the prison system takes care of him. While he is in prison, Morrison will be subject to evaluation under Florida's Jimmy Rice Act. If experts determine he poses a risk of reoffending, he can be civilly committed at a residential facility for sex offenders instead of being released to the public. Make him work in a slave camp. Not because he's black, but because he's a pedophile. I've said this innumerable times on this podcast. I think we waste life in jail. Sorry, I took a dab when the Mossad shut off my camera. Deja fucking vu. Holy shit, mid-podcast. That's wild. I've talked about it innumerably. We should throw pedophiles into work camps. You want an iPhone? Would you rather it be built by some little Chinese 7-year-old working their little fingers down to the bone? Or would you rather a pedophile that you know is working their fingers down to the bone? Come on now. Would you rather them work their fingers down to the bone or children's buttholes down to the bone? Come on now. Preach. Yes, Lord. Wait, I'm the one preach. Yes, Lord. Put that man into a fucking slave camp, not because he is black, but because he is a pedophile. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Condemn him. Condemn him to building iPhones for 13-year-olds for the rest of his life. It befits him. Yes. He may not be able to receive titty pictures from 13-year-olds, but 13-year-olds can send titty pictures to other 13-year-olds via these iPhones. I was 13. I sent titty pics at 13. I'm so sorry. No, but the point is that it would be great because now these 13-year-olds are basically, they're horrible people with their phones. So it would be great to see a pedophile contribute to the horrendousness of a child instead of to their own horrendousness. No? Let these children do the crazy things with their iPhones. Let the pedophiles build iPhones and let these children do what they must with them. Virginia man sentenced to probation after threatening to kill Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey. Must serve at animal shelter. Well, my point still stands the fucking same. Build the iPhone. A Virginia man who threatened in Facebook messages to shoot and kill Brevard County A Virginia man who threatened in Facebook messages to shoot and kill Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey will be barred from social media for 5 years of supervised probation. So he doesn't get Instagram or Twitter for 5 years. Ooh, we became a crack addict. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for those of you who don't know. Jesus Christ, man. Jungle Boy. Shout out Jungle Boys. Y'all done wrecked my lungs and gave me angina and made my throat all mucusy. But man, does it fucking feel good. So this kid was sending death threats to Wayne Ivey, and I suppose that's fair because he is a fat cocksucking piece of shit. And we're going to address some of... Motherfuck this goddamn audio cable. Bastard. Mossad audio cable. This audio cable was provided by the Israeli government. No wonder it's coming after me. Just kidding. It was provided by Drake, and now it's molesting me. Jacob A. Devin, 21, also must work 100 volunteer hours at an animal shelter under a plea agreement approved by the sheriff. Ironically, he got approved a plea deal by a sheriff after threatening a sheriff. At a May 21st hearing, Devin avoided trial and a possible prison sentence by pleading no contest to 1 count of making written or electronic threats to kill and 1 count of unlawful use of two-way communication device. I think this just should have been a strike. Fuck this. A whole ass charge for this? No, give him a strike. Give him a strike. 30 days. No, 30 hours community service. Fuck Wayne Ivey. Fuck you fat cocksucker. Goddamn sorry son of a bitch. I promise you, one of these days, we're gonna have you on the podcast, or I'm gonna be on your podcast, and you and I will have a fantastic, beautiful debate moderated by a few of these citizens here in town. And we will see who is judged by their fucking peers, buddy. We will see who is judged by their peers the harshest. I may be a piece of shit, but at least I can admit it, you fat faggot. Circuit Judge Steve Henderson pronounced Devin guilty of 2 felony charges, prohibiting him from owning firearms in Florida and Virginia. Devin must also complete an anger management course. He may serve his probation in Virginia. If you're thinking of doing something, you'll be riding here in a van, shackled. It's no fun, Henderson warned Devin. Evidence prepared by prosecutors included 8 threatening Facebook instant messages sent to Ivy from Devin's account June 14, 2025. Wayne Ivy would have never made it in a Call of Duty fucking chat. He would have died. Not only would he have died in the game, he would have killed himself because he couldn't handle the abuse. You are a soft man. You allow Epstein into our goddamn county. You allow these fucking NASA people to come over here and spill all their shit in the lagoon. You allow all the criminals like the Warlocks and all these other fucking street gangs and blah, 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 and all these other fucking... And by the way, I understand I was a little fucking thug degenerate motherfucker myself, but gangs are gay as fuck. Being a YN is gay as fuck. By the way, for all of you who are white people who say YN, you saying young nigga. So when you say YN, you still saying nigga. So how do you feel about that? How you feel about that, white people? You've been saying nigga. Bitch. I own that shit. I'm also native and Italian, so fuck you, suck my dick, bitch ass niggas. I'm also Irish descended and Jewish descended. I'm a fucking mutt, bitch. But y'all been saying YN. How you feel about that, white guilt? How did I get there? I got to white guilt from fucking some guy threatening Wayne Ivy's life. I think I think it hit me a little hard. Whew. I may need another shot here. A little Shabang shashot. Shashot Shabang! Shashat Shalom! I'm so sorry. I know that like a fucking 10th of this podcast is just me laughing, but holy shit, man. Devin's account, June 14, 2025. Among them, I will kill you and your family. He lives in Fawn Lake. I'll shoot you till you won't breathe anymore. Well, don't use a gun. That's ridiculous. Now you make people who use guns look bad. Now you've just added to the entire crime statistic that you have people like Republicans and conservatives, ironically, like Wayne Ivy, fighting for. So now you have made him confused. I know where you live. It was in Fawn Lake. I'm not going to give out the address because I haven't discussed it yet with a attorney, but I'm fairly certain that we can give out addresses because that is public information that you guys can look up. And my thing is, I'm thinking of adding a new segment. I want to call it Wheel of Sheriff. And every single week, we're going to put sheriff's names on a wheel. And we're going to spin that wheel. And it's going to be all Brevard County sheriffs, TPD, all that shit. And what we're going to do is we're going to spin that wheel with their names on it. And whoever it lands on, we're going to give you their address. I like that. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Because fucking Wayne Ivy, this fat cocksucker, this is one of the things that I wanted to address. Because that's not where I was going. That's Instagram. That's where I got the watch thing. Shout out Watchanista. They have provided a lot of the information that I've been giving y'all on here on YouTube and on the podcast. I always like to give credit where credit is due, and they have made my job easier here on the podcast. I'm just giving y'all my honest opinions on a lot of this stuff. I love the smell of Blue Origin in the morning. Have y'all seen... You motherfucker. Oh my God, man. We're going to get to you, Bezos. No. By the way, Brevard County Sheriff's Office has a 2.6 out of 5 rating on Google. Out of 33 reviews, Brevard County Sheriff's Office Administration has a 2.6 star review. Talk all the shit you want, Mr. Wayne Ivy, but you have less than a 3-star rating. You have a lower rating than a restaurant that has cockroaches that crawl on people's burgers. If I went into the lowest income neighborhood of Miami, it would still have a 3-star rating. Now, y'all may be wondering, where am I going with this next? when I looked under the wheel of, yeah, here it is. The big wheel is here. I'm gonna get that old country accent. Just here, let me distend my belly. Here, hold on. I gotta get the country in. I gotta get the country accent for real, and it requires me to have whiskey in hand, because there ain't nothing like being a Brevard County sheriff, like having whiskey in hand and your gut on the table. Here, hold up. Let me. There we go, baby. The big wheel is back in action for Tournament Tuesday. Tune in to see who the sheriff's spin lands on and Wheel of Fugitive. You never know. Could be you. You know what's funny? I never saw any of the other fucking sheriffs that you had indicted or had to arrest on your fucking Wheel of Fugitive. So, Wayne Ivey, I just gotta say one thing. It is hilarious that every single week you have created a game show, a talk show, whatever the fuck you want to call it is show, where you just get to make fun of your citizens. But you didn't have, and you haven't had, any of your Brevard County sheriffs, deputies, any of this shit fucking on your Wheel of Fugitive. I have not seen it once, and I don't think anyone else has. And even when you released the fucking information about the officers, it wasn't you who did it. It was the news articles, and we got no mugshots with the shit. But we get mugshots every single day, daily, uploaded of mugshots of the general sit. And underneath on the comments in the episode, some guy commented, you need to do community because you can't do any real actual police work. And I 100% agree with that. Thank you, Nick Boomgarden. Thank you, because fuck Wayne Ivey. And Wayne Ivey responds, here, hold up, back with the gut. Ah, look, everybody, little Nicky's mommy finally let him get a social media account. Now he feels all grown up. We're also told that she still has his 6th place ribbon he got in last year's school spelling bee upon her refrigerator, too. So, they comment on your work and the plausibility of your ethic, of your work, of who you are. They question the very character that you represent, and your response is to insult them as if it makes you look... I don't even know what the thought process is here, because this is some 16-year-old shit. This is the same thing that I see 16-year-olds. When I was 15 and 16 years old, this is the response that I would give to somebody if they questioned my credibility. If somebody questioned my credibility at the age of 15 years old, I would without a doubt just insult them because I am nothing more than a little child on the inside. Tee-hee-hee-hee. You overgrown fucking monkey. You goddamn fucking Jesus Christ. What the actual fuck, man? And there's another one. When law enforcement turns into a game show and entertainment, ... Shaking my head. I agree. This is the thing I've commented on. I think it's disgusting. I think that if I run for office, if I run for any official position, any of this stuff, this podcast is going to end. I've made that very clear. I don't want to continue it. I don't even feel it's appropriate to have a platform like that when you are running for office, because it's not about your social media presence or your social credit score that gets you elected. It's the credibility and plausibility of you, your ethic, and the things you stand for. And you shouldn't be going and responding to people on Facebook in the comments section as if you were a 15-year-old girl who is offended that people are making fun of her for being a little overweight and having dyed hair. I know there are several of you, or at least your girlfriends, who fit that image. Don't lie. We all know it. So, when law enforcement turns into a game show and entertainment, ... Shaking my head. Gary Parsons. Thank you, by the way. I agree. And Brevard County Sheriff's Office Florida official responded, perhaps you should be more worried about that thing that is hanging off your face in their profile pic. Is that on purpose? That has more likes than the actual comment about the guy calling him out for having a game show where he makes fun of his citizens. I thought the duty of a law enforcement officer is to serve, protect, and dedicate yourself to the betterment and welfare of the community and benevolence of all. Not go out of your way to act like a teenage girl. Now, I know you might have that confused given that you did drag a few years ago, but you aren't supposed to act like a diva bitch off the stage, Wayne. I did that shit too when I was in high school for a charity. I understand you're going to say it was for a charity. He's making a bad comment because Andy's the bigot. I know how it all goes. But believe me, I understand what you're going to say. But my thing is you didn't leave the diva bitch on stage. You took her home and you added her to your Facebook profile. You're retarded. You're like a legitimate 2.6 out of 5 review, Wayne. And you're going out of your way to not just make fun of your citizens, but you were going out of your way to respond and attack them on Facebook. So when this young man, I don't know why a kid in Virginia felt the need to do this. Whatever. Should have been somebody local. You fucking Titusville pussies. It's not entirely not understandable. You know what I mean? The sheriff's office obtained an arrest warrant on June 16th, and Devin's mother drove him from Washington, D.C. suburbs to Brevard County to turn himself in at the jail. All the way from Washington, D.C. That's a 12-hour drive for those of you who don't know. I drove that to see my friend Katrina fucking graduate a couple years ago. Shout out Katrina. Love you, girl. That's a 12-hour drive from D.C. to here. Mama drove him 12 hours to turn him into jail. The mother said Devin had been upset by comments the sheriff made during a press conference, but was ready to take responsibility for his threats. I'm upset about the comments he makes at press conferences. I'm upset that somebody who is aware of 90% of the crime that's going on here is only focused on speeding because he's trying to make himself look better for the public because he knows that he is failing as a sheriff. Gotta have something that looks nice. He was later released on a $150,000 bond to await trial. So, a pedophile. I want this to be clipped, made public, whatever. I want this to be something that I am clear on right now. A pedophile from another country who came here to Vegas to meet up with a 15-year-old got a $10,000 bond, and a 21-year-old who threatened Wayne Ivey, that fat, sorry fucking cocksucker, over some Facebook messages, got a $150,000 bond. But the pedophile got a $10,000 bond and will not be extradited to the United States because of the extraditionary laws. We just had a motherfucking... Oh, you sorry bitches. You're all some sorry bitches. Sorry, motherfuckers. Fuck all of you. God damn it, man. I don't wish bad upon anyone, but for the love of God, man, y'all, this is driving me nuts. Where was I at? Yeah, the Virginia, but this is an actual, over some threats. It's not like anyone actually died. 24-year-old Rockledge man dies after vehicle crash on I-95 near State Road 528. Maybe if Wayne Ivey was worried about the speeders on the road at the moment, he wouldn't have died. Crash happened around 1:05 a.m. Where were you, Wayne Ivey? Not fucking taking care of your community, huh? Because I keep reading about car crashes every single motherfucking week, and all you're focused on is the speeders, so you're failing. Brevard County, Florida. Florida Highway Patrol announced Monday morning that 24-year-old Rockledge man has died after a fatal crash on I-95 in Brevard County near State Road 528. Authorities say the crash happened with a man traveling southbound on I-95 when he ran off the road for an unknown reason around 1:05 a.m. and struck a guardrail. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. Debris from the crash struck another vehicle that was also traveling southbound on I-95. 2 people inside the vehicle were not injured. Well, thank fucking God for that. Shabang should thank God for that. But my thing is, Wayne, maybe if you were out there, you might have prevented it. Since there's death threats happening to you, which is such a serious fucking thing coming from a 21... God damn, man, that kid can't have a fucking firearm ever again. By the way, kids, don't go making threats to people. You shouldn't go threatening people You shouldn't go assaulting, attacking anyone. You should never harm anyone. You should never go out of your way to try to harm anyone. Ever. I mean, so literally. I know a lot of the things I condone on here, but you just shouldn't be violent for the sake of violence. This isn't A Clockwork Orange, my favorite film ever. This isn't Secret Life for Pets, where they like have you get bit by a snake for initiation, where it's just violence for violence sake. But I love that I compared A Clockwork Orange to A Secret Life for Pets. That's like comparing apples to rape. That's well, technically speaking, if you eat an apple without its consent, it is rape. Shabbat, food for thought. Oh my God, man. Again, Wayne, you see, it's not like anyone died in your situation, but you know, death investigation underway after body found on roof of Sarno Road building in Melbourne. See, people are actually dying in your county. There is a dead body found randomly in Melbourne, and you're worried about a 21-year-old who's giving you non-credible threats. Were these threats credible? Did he have a firearm? Was he actually willing to drive down? Was there a plan? Was there a manifesto? Was there any of this? No. The thing is once you threaten an officer or something like that, they give you the maximum penalty no matter what. They treat them like they're Jewish people in Iran. You know what I mean? They treat them like they're the God among peoples or the God's chosen peoples. And it's ridiculous. You know, Wayne, you know what? Actually, here, we'll make this a formal invitation. I will make this right now. This next shot is for Wayne. We're going to do probably one or two more. I'm feeling a little bit better now. I've expressed some of my milder frustrations, and I feel more free. I feel like my yoni egg has popped.
What? You might want to get that looked at.
I think maybe I am right. I don't think I can put a yoni egg in. Holy shit. Wayne Ivey, Sheriff Wayne Ivey. This is a fun one because I've had a lot of people ask to be on my podcast, and I've said no to most of them. When I get this figured out and I get this shit stable, let's say beginning of 2027, I formally invite you to be on StormWatch. We can talk about whatever you like. We can debate whatever you like. I'll have a few of my own questions and comments and concerns. You can have a few of yours. Neither of us will know each other's comments, questions, or concerns beforehand because I do not want a planned interview. I don't want anything scripted. I don't want anything that's whatever. The only thing I ever come in here with that's scripted is the list of topics. Do you see this? Right here. This is what I come in with every single week. This is not jokes. This is not whatever. This is me just freelance fuck it all. I would like a little bit of that with you. Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently these colors don't run, and neither do my cameras, neither do our rockets, and neither do our sheriff. So like nothing's running around this bitch. Wow. Nothing is working. And I want to blame the Mossad, but you can't just blame the Jews for everything. Now I blame the CIA. Maybe it's Sebin. Maybe it's the Venezuelan special ops coming after me for everything I said about Maduro and Delcy. I did just touch on Maduro again a week or two ago. By the way, you should go and check out the episodes. I have put in a lot of work. I have put in massive amounts of effort for all of these things, and you should go rewatch the shit, because if you don't, you're a bitch. And so my point is, maybe it's your fault, the audience. Maybe it's like it's like fucking fairy dust. You have to believe in this shit in order for it to take off. You know what I mean? What if you were failing in supporting your God, your deity, your daddy? Come on now. And then the camera failed because of your lack of support for daddy. Where was I at? Oh yeah, Wayne Ivy, beginning of 2027, I formally invite you to be on here or me be on your podcast. I'd love to have a little sit down with you, do whatever it is. We can be sober, we can have a couple drinks, we can bullshit. But the point is, I want to hear you explain why you feel it's all right for you to make fun of your citizens constantly and regularly when you're supposed to uphold nothing but truth and the law and common decency. You are supposed to be the representation of decency in the community, and you go out of your way to make fun of your citizens. So I just want to know that, because you can make fun of your citizens. You got a kid to get a $150,000 bond when pedophiles in Vegas only get $10,000. And there's a dead guy on the roof in Melbourne. By the way, congratulations to the guy who put the dead body on the roof in Melbourne. Props to you for getting on top of the roof to begin with, but also hauling a whole fucking body up there is crazy. Now, maybe you went up there with your buddy and you killed him afterwards, so maybe it's not as much of a... Maybe you don't deserve as many props as I give, but the fact that we don't know who you are yet, and you killed someone, or the point is there's a dead body on the roof. Props to whoever put the dead body there, whether it was the person who died and they overdosed, which is common in Brevard, or it was somebody else who killed them, which is common in Brevard. You know what? Shabang shashat time. I had this one poured out before the little break, and well, you know what? In honor of the dead body. Shot Shabang. Disgusting. I don't even like Jack. I'm a vodka and tequila guy now. Oh my lord. Excuse me. I had a little gin phase there. Then I got roofied. I had a big vodka phase, and I guess it circled back around. But the problem is, if I mix vodka and tequila, I just get naked. It's the truth. I'd like to be more of a beer drinker again, but every fucking heavy beer I'm finding is just like drinking syrup. No one has any good Belgian strong ales that I can just enjoy. So I'm left to become an alkie. The Melbourne Police Department is investigating after a deceased individual. They're being politically correct with dead people? They weren't being politically correct with George Floyd at the roast, and now they're being politically correct with this guy, or girl, or thing? Deceased individual? Can they breathe? Obviously not. The Melbourne Police Department is investigating after a deceased individual was found Tuesday afternoon on the roof of a building along Sarno Road. According to the police, officers responded around 3:22 p.m. on May 19th to 2261 Sarno Road after receiving a report of a dead body located on the roof of the building. How did it get middle of the afternoon? Did it start to smell? Were you... Oh, God. Florida maggots. Ugh. Officers with Melbourne Police Department and personnel from the Melbourne Fire Department arrived at the scene and confirmed the presence of a deceased person on the roof. Dead guy. Weekend at Bernie's in Melbourne. Investigators said the person had not been positively identified, and the cause and manner of death remain under investigation. Probably an OD. I'm going to predict that now. Detectives are working alongside the Brevard County Medical Examiner's Office to gather additional information and develop investigative leads. Based on the information, investigation remains active and ongoing. It always remains active and ongoing. We had a 12-year-old got shot the other month. Ongoing. We had a baby that died. Investigation ongoing. We have everything ongoing. Everything is an investigation. Blue Origin, an investigation ongoing. But they can send up another rocket. And you know what? Finally, we've gotten around to this, because what occurred this morning was a Blue Origin explosion. Which, funny enough, Brevard County burn ban remains in effect as drought index rises. So we have a burn ban, but we can send up rockets into space. We have a burn ban in effect here in Brevard, but we can fail to send rockets up and blow them up on the fucking launch pad. Here, you know what? I got an example of this. Let me not fuck it up. Now, I gave this example earlier in the episode, but now this is for educational purposes. Watch this. You see how it came back and hit me in the head? Failure to launch. Failure to fucking... to launch! Bastards. No, and we got to fucking apparently find out that the explosion... all of the materials, if they wash up on shore, you need to report it to 911 because they could be hazardous materials. So I want this to be clear to all of the Brevard citizens. This is one thing that I would like to share with the rest of you. They are trying to propose a bill where they can dump 500,000 gallons of wastewater into the lagoon. They receive backlash from the general public and them not wanting it. They set off a launch. The same company that is trying to propose this sets up a launch and fails, scattering debris in the lagoon and in the ocean, not only contaminating the ocean and the lagoon, but contaminating the general area and threatening the welfare and safety of the citizens in the town. And this fucking article is so worried about Blue Origin explosion threatens to delay NASA's moon program. Fuck the moon program. Fuck you. Fuck you, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and all of you sorry fucking cocksuckers who seem to think that contaminating an area and destroying the general population and nature around you for your benefit is, you know what's funny? There are so many people who don't understand this. You guys are worshiping people who don't spend any money on you, who don't care about you, who are harming the citizens and the land that they are sending this stuff in. But oh, it's a fucking pity rocket. It's a rocket. It's a feat of mankind. Yeah, it is a feat of mankind, and it was a while ago. But guess what? Apparently now they have lasers they can shoot you from the sky with. They have nukes they can drop on you. So what's a feat of mankind? What actually is a feat? Because the last I checked, this great feat of mankind is destroying my ecosystem in my backyard and polluting the general area to where families can't even go safely out to the water, which is the one reason people have to come to this fucking town outside of the launches. So you are destroying the town, you are destroying the ecosystem, and you are threatening the jobs and businesses of the area because you can't contain and properly handle your business, Mr. Bezos. And this goes for all of you. So my thing is, I don't understand as well why all of these people, and it's a lot of boomers and what are they, the Gen Xers that's just under the boomers? The boomers and the Gen Xers are so obsessed with watching a rocket launch and seeing AI and drones that they're like, yeah, it's so good, it's so good. And then they don't understand that what they're signing up for is their children's demise. And then they have the audacity to come out at these graduation speeches and be like, well, AI is the future. And everyone says no. And they're like, well, you know what? This is going to be good for you whether you like it or not. And Jeff Bezos and Elon and them are doing the same thing with these rocket launches because it's not doing anything but harming the environment and the general populace. And people seem to think that we're doing something good for mankind and civilization. People are starving, dying, overheating, everything on the planet right now. And we're investing in ways to send 10 people off the planet so that way they can survive. All personnel are accounted for and safe. It's too early to know the root cause, but we're already working to find it. Very rough day. We'll rebuild whatever needs rebuilding and get back to flying. It's worth it. No, Jeff, it's not worth it. And I think the general populace, especially of the area, doesn't find it to be worth it. I think that you've imported a lot of jobs and you've imported a lot of people who aren't naturally from this area. And the people who are, of course, shipped in for your jobs are going to say, well, we love this area. It's fantastic. Everything is going great. I mean, we got jobs out of this. But the general public of people who've been here for the last 60, 70 years have watched this town boom up and die based off of the space program. But now the problem is it's booming up with no stability, no guaranteed contracts for future anything. And you're polluting the environment and the town itself with no promises of cleanup, only promises of rebuilding and trying to relaunch. I do think that this was intentional, and you allegedly, and I do think this was allegedly intentional. Before you guys come at me and sue me, I think that this is one of those moments where they were receiving too much flack from the public for what it is they're doing and what it is they're trying to do. And so why not have a quote unquote failed launch or a failed whatever, so that way the area becomes too contaminated and too filled with refuse for people to even argue. They'll go, oh man, well, the river's already polluted anyways. We may as well agree to let them dump the 500,000 gallons into it. And I've seen comments about stuff like that where our citizens are like, well, what do we care? What do we care? What do we care? Titusville people, I urge you to care a little bit more in life than just being high, because I've seen people that I knew in high school go homeless over drugs and pussy and everything under the sun. They want to be rappers, they want to be drug dealers, they want to be everything that you want to. They want to be fucking Iceman, shebang, but you guys are Dice Man, and every role is likely just going to end up with snake eyes. I don't think any of you are understanding. None of this is benefiting the long-term families here. I truly can't think of anyone who is benefiting in the long run right now. I talked to one of my old friends, what's her name? Alexis. She said that one of the days one of the launches happened, they got so much money in tips and da-da-da-da-da. And I understand that you got extra money in tips, but is that one day in tips the equivalent of giving you a bonus? Is it the equivalent of having steady customers in that can give you regular tips? Because they just did a launch in the evening and nobody knew about that. Nobody was outside, nobody was doing anything, nobody was supporting any of the small businesses, and they keep saying that this program is for the area, but y'all have a bunch of soft launches middle of the evening, late in the afternoon, middle of the day, when no one is even paying attention. And that is good for us? I just don't understand. Because what it sounds like to me is just lack of any consideration for, well, the welfare of the public. And I know it sounds crazy coming from a guy like me who talks as much shit as he does and says all this, gets drunk on camera. Well, I'm not even drunk, but partakes in alcohol and marijuana on camera. Da, 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 da. You can say what you would like about me, but I do what I can, and I'm not going to give you whatever details because that's asinine. I hate saying it, but all you proud Christians are terrible people. But I do what I can, and I think that I have witnessed more general members of this community who are into destroying the community than they are to actually helping it. And so that's the thing is, no, you know what the irony of this shirt is it's an American shirt made in China about American pride. And there was where'd my phone go? Here we go. I took a photo of the tag. I'm not about to take off my fucking shirt on camera because I'm fat as shit right now. The best part about this shirt is the tag in the back. Way to celebrate patriotic. Made in China. And then it comes in Spanish. Hecho en China. So, a shirt about the 250th anniversary of our country. A t-shirt made to represent and symbolize the pride that we take as a nation, the 250th anniversary of our country. Hecho en China. Way to celebrate pride. Way to celebrate national pride. You know what? These colors don't run, and neither do our citizens, and neither do our rockets, and neither do our leaders, and neither do our cameras, and neither does anything else that this fucking country seems to be representing. I think that we have missed the point of a lot of things. I think we're an overcomplacent nation, and I think that we are so focused on seeing these fancy, shiny things that we're not actually paying attention to all the destroyed copper, the rusted buildings, the debris that built all of this shit. You know, all your waste is as important as the thing that you built to take off, because you got to deal with it somehow. It was part of the process, which means it's part of the thing itself. Where is that? The destruction of Blue Origin's unmanned New Glenn rocket in a catastrophic launch pad explosion, along with apparently severe damage to the company's only launch pad, sent shockwaves through the U.S. space community Friday. What did I say? What would be funny is if they chalked this up to a terrorist act, just like I predicted they would do several months ago when I said that NASA was going to be the next thing that got hit and the space program would end up being the thing that got delayed because there has been billions flooding into the space program. But if things fail and the contracts fail and the equipment is destroyed, guess what? Insurance takes over. The deals still follow through because you're going to sit in court and say, well, we've already completed this amount of work, so we need to be compensated for this, da-da-da-da-da. And then the contracts are going to sit in court for years. The companies are going to pay it out so that way they don't have to deal with any of this stuff. It would be kind of funny if this was actually intentional because that would make it a terrorist act. And it would just prove me right. And I know that's something a lot of you don't want to have happen. And I'm okay with that. I say this all the time. I hope to God you all prove me wrong. I've been called a know-it-all. I've been called a this. I've been called a that, a prick, a douche, a da-da-da, a piece of shit, and da-ba-ba-ba-ba. And you're all right. But my thing is, I'm not wrong. And seldom have I been. I hope you prove me wrong. I got asked this the other day. Why do you hope people prove you wrong? Because everyone else lives to be proven right. And that's the thing, is if you just assume you're in the wrong and you live to be proven right about the fact that you're wrong, what steps are you taking to make anything better in this world? And I don't think being a know-it-all makes you a better person, but I think a little bit of confidence carries a long way. And I think it's better to be proven wrong at the end of the day. Not every single time. But, you know, if you are somebody like me who is a paranoid, let's say nihilist for niceties. Let's call me a nihilist. No, there was one dude. It's called motherfucking, you know what? Let's say nihilism. There's a philosophy I'm thinking about. It's just not giving a fuck. It's literally like just the philosophy of not giving a fuck. I'm going to type this in, and if it pops up, I'm not the one who's fucked here. You guys are. Let's say the philosophy of not caring. Selective concern. Stoicism. Zen Buddhism, modern pragmatism, existentialism. All right, let's just say nihilism. If you're a nihilist, it is far better to be proven wrong because at least then you know that things are going better. But if you're a nihilist and you hope to be proven right, the world is gonna shit on you, eat the shit up, and then shit you out with the shit. I'm so glad that actually worked. And by the way, the fact that that worked proves my point. Excuse me. Sorry. Mucusy. Don't smoke, kids. Not good for you. It's too early to know the root of the cause, but I already read you's tweet. The Titanic blast could be seen across a swath of Florida, shaking nearby homes and rattling windows and roiling clouds of flames billowed into the sky, framed by arcing streaks of debris flying in all directions. So my thing is, if the debris is hazardous, what was it releasing into the air for the general public to breathe in? Because, you know what's also funny? I heard some planes flying really low the other night, and I went walking outside this morning and yesterday morning, and I kept finding dead wasps everywhere. Every couple concrete slabs, or every concrete slab almost even, I would find a dead wasp. I found a dead wasp on my mower outside, and all were different breeds of wasps. And I mean this so literally. I'm not making jokes. I'm talking to you. So it's interesting that these low-flying planes keep occurring. There are dead bugs popping up, flock cameras everywhere. The other day I saw a post about someone made about a plane that keeps flying low over neighborhoods in Titusville with a truck following through. They stop and then they keep going, but you got to wonder if they're planting the military state near the space program because they feel such a necessity of making sure this follows through. They're scared of whatever they said. There's aliens in the ocean. There's aliens in the ocean. There's aliens. If you want to be on the podcast, please come be on the podcast. I'd love to host you, have you. If you made, I'm not joking. If an alien wanted to be on this podcast, I would do everything I possibly could to make this the nicest podcast possible. I'd still be offensive to them and everyone else, the goddamn outer worlders, those goddamn others, the goddamn aliens, and I'm not talking Mexicalians. That's the new name, Mexicalians, Spalians. We need to separate them from the real the others, the outers. Early Friday, space launch Delta 45 warned the public debris from the anomaly could wash ashore along public accessible areas over the next coming days and weeks. It is critical to report sightings to 911 before a proper removal and mitigation of debris could be hazardous and direct contact could pose health risks. So, basically, people can't even use the lagoon or river as it is, and we're about to see a bunch of dead manatees popping up, dead fish and the like, because the water is no longer going to be safe for people to swim in, and everyone who swims in the river over the next 2 months while they're picking out debris is going to come back with some kind of anomalous disease. They're going to say that there's a ban on going in the water. Titusville is going to ban Playa Linda and the Nig Beach area and all that shit. They're going to ban that, and they're going to just say, well, nope, the area basically belongs to NASA now, and they're going to start sectioning it off piece by piece. That's my prediction. The hot fire test was being carried out in preparation for the New Glenn's launch in early June on a flight to deploy 48 Amazon-owned internet satellites. The satellites were not on board the rocket for the engineering firing, were not damaged in the mishap. Damn! Elon's already getting shit from, like, cartographers. I think that's who it is, who maps stars and shit like that. I think it's cartographers. And Elon's already getting, so I love that I'm getting a Hamilton watch advertisement as I'm reading this to you, and a sleep apnea advertisement. Elon's getting shit from the cartographers and the star mappers because he's putting up so many satellites that they're mistaking his satellites for constellations. And so they're fucking up the actual charting that we're doing, projecting our cameras up to the sky and beyond. While the cause of the explosion was not immediately known, it appeared to originate at or near the base of the rocket's first stage as its 7 methane-burning BE-4 engines were ignited for the planned test. Planned failure. You know what's funny? The lady I rented the house from, Cindy Mead, for all of you people at NASA, SpaceX, the U.S. government, who give me this information, whoever wants to give me shit, Cindy Mead told me that they knew about the Apollo failures beforehand and that it was going to fail. And that the government knew about the explosion before, knew that it was likely to explode and still sent the members up. So my question is, how many of these launches have been planned to fail? And in this instance, when they're facing backlash from the general public and they're not being paid attention to by the locals of the area, how much of this was planned? Allegedly, so to say, so to speak. So I've heard. Hearsay. Fucking assholes. God damn. I'm going to need to get a lawyer on this. At some point, hey, Code, I think I'm going to need to hire like an on-set lawyer who can just be like, hearsay, allegedly. It's like that fucking rapper bit that... Ow! Fuck! Ow! Holy shit! Ow! Motherfucker! Sorry about that. Oh, I was trying to fucking pull my hair back because it's bothering me a little. By the way, don't let me forget, this started off here. We need to put this over here at the end of the episode for graduation and stuff, eh? Hey, Crody? Hey, Holmes? Shabang. She'll graduate. I know this was fucking Beyonce and shit and Drake, but like, I like the glove. Look at that.
You mean Michael Jackson?
No, yes, it was Michael Jackson who had the glove, but if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. And she had a glove too. No one gave Beyonce shit when she wore the glove. Everyone's giving Drake shit when he wore the glove. Also, 120 grand for the Michael Jackson glove? 120 grand? 120 grand? 120. I need that to be very, very clear. There was a Patek Philippe. There was like a Patek I think it was, that sold last month for like $9 to $10 million. The original Paul Newman Rolex Daytona sold for like $20 million at auction. Michael Jackson, the most prolific and arguably famous artist in all of history, his glove is only worth $120,000. His family destroyed his legacy and let everything die. And oh man, it's so sad. So sad. Where was I at? I was talking about Blue Origin. The engines generate a combined 4.5 million pounds of thrust at full power, and if one or more B-4s was to blame, the mishap almost certainly will affect the United Launch Alliance, which uses the Blue Origin engines in the first stage of its new Vulcan rocket. Excuse me. You know what would have been funny? Is if one of these rockets took a dive like this when Katy Perry was on the shit. I saved this for like the end of the episode, but I think that what better time than this? I want you to pretend that this little rocket here with these little aliens is Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos. And this is the blue. Look at this. It's blue. This is the Blue Origin rocket. Now, look at this. Okay. Now, I want you to envision that these rockets that just exploded in our backyard and are destroying our town were hosting Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos instead. It would go something like this. You ready? Ah, damn it. I was not expecting. Okay, here, hold on. That was a. You know what? There we go. There. That. Katy Perry and Jeff fucking Bezos. God damn it. Also, you know what? Since we're talking about failure to launch, I know some of you are wondering why I chose Futurama. Because every episode it starts off with the goddamn rocket crashing in. That is one of my favorite TV shows fucking ever. I truly mean that. Top 5 animated TV shows ever for how perfect the fucking humor is. That, King of the Hill, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Adventure Time, and... It's always hard to find number 5. It's always hard to find the last one. If you gave me a list of 3, number 3 would have been hard. If you would have gave me a list of 2, number 1 would have been easy and number 2 would have been hard. If you would have given me a list of 30, 20, I'm sorry. 29 would have been easy and number 30 would have been hard. My point is Jeff Bezos and Katy Perry crash land. And then they die. And then there's no more Blue Origin to pollute our fucking world. And then there's no more Katy Perry to rub her disgusting vagina on Ruby Rose's face. Life would be better. What if that was the timeline thing that we're missing? We just need one less Katy Perry and one less Jeff. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, what if this was Katy and this was Jeff? And then we sent them and the rocket to hell. I mean, to the sun or something like that. I don't wish death on anyone. I don't want anyone to die. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want anyone to get sent in a rocket to the sun unless it would be that entertaining. It would be entertaining. The explosion could have been triggered by a ruptured fuel line, a ground system, or some other malfunction. You know what? I'm not going to sit here. Whatever the cause, the explosion marked a potential serious blow to NASA's Artemis moon program. You know what's funny is if this destroys the contracts because it destroyed the landing pad, there would be millions lost to this town. They would make out like bandits, but this town would lose millions. And people would leave the fucking town because there's no reason to stay here anymore. SpaceX, NASA, and all them employ like a goddamn third of this town. We would lose millions of dollars if this was real. The idea is to test rendezvous and docking procedures. You know what? I'm so done with this. I'm so done with this. You know what? We're going to do one more shot. Okay, maybe 2 more. But the point is, I'm doing a shot in this moment for the rocket that failed to launch. I'm doing a shot for all the people who made this launch possible. I'm talking about all the men and all the women and all the Jews, because they're not real people, and all the Germans, because they're superior people, and and all the aliens who helped us because they left us technology for us to back engineer. And to Jeff Bezos. And to Katy Perry. Oh god, I'm delaying this shot. I'm stalling. I know what I'm doing. I'm just talking so that way I don't have to do it. But you know what? To space exploration and to failure to launch, these colors don't run and neither do our engines, baby. Beautiful. Awesome. Fuck. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Holy shit. You know, I talk so much shit on them. But if I didn't have them, would I have this podcast? I need you guys to think about this, because there are 3 things in this world that if they did not exist, I would not be here. If terrorists didn't exist, if pedophiles didn't exist, and if Tim Dillon didn't exist, I might not have this podcast. And yes, I know I just said Tim Dillon in the same breath as terrorist and pedophiles, but they are the greatest people in the world. And okay, and if they're not the greatest, they make the most happen. Okay, this is a legitimate question. Who has more influence? Someone who does so much good for the world, or someone who does so much evil for the world? Because people will base entire rule books and policies around one bad person. They don't base rule books and policies around one good person. The only rule book that I've seen based around one good person is like the 10 Commandments. And Moses failed at all those things for the most part. I don't even know if Jesus entirely fucking lived up to the 10 Commandments. Did he? No, I didn't think so. I mean, he respected his mother and father, but not really, because he left their side and went to the church elders and started speaking against them when he was like 12 years old. So was he respecting his... So, is it disrespectful to talk against your elders? Maybe Jesus should have been whooped more. His father was a carpenter. Build him a paddle! You know what? Maybe if Jesus was a woman, this world would have been better. And that leads me into my next film, Ladies First. And I gotta say, this was not my favorite movie. This starred Sacha Baron Cohen and a bunch of other bitches, and the guy who played Tywin Lannister in motherfucking Game of Thrones, Charles Dance. Yeah. And it also had Richard E. Grant in it, who looks just like Hugh Grant and Christopher Walken had nutted inside the same woman. I don't understand him and how he's not related to them. But the point is, the movie is basically about just these guys and all the bitches. But okay. So Sacha Baron Cohen is this badass rich dude who is a amazing business owner and treats people really with the best respect that you could imagine to treat a person, you know what I mean? And he goes on this fucking adventure where they turn him into a pussy. I don't understand the film. What was the point of the film? To make him look like a bitch because he had to be subservient to some fucking female boss? That's the message is like, we need to put female in positions of power. But by the end of the film, the bitch only earned a position because of her sexual prowess in a multiverse effect. Really, I think that this film was terrible and it needed more Sacha Baron Cohen. So, what happened is the film starts out with Sacha Baron Cohen. He's a fucking awesome CEO. He just got done fucking this bad bitch. He gave her a fucking nice outfit, paid for her shit, and he dipped, which is badass. And then he goes to work, and oh wait, no, hold up. I think he's in like the fucking Cayman Islands or something on a business retreat. They're about to shut down his company, or no, another company was going to stop doing business with him because he didn't meet the quota for having a female board member, which is bullshit because what does it even matter if the job is getting done? Why is there, what does this DEI stuff have to do with bitches? BEI, bitches, equity, and inclusion. And then so he says he's going to hire on a female, which is retarded. No, he didn't say he was going to hire on a female. He said he was going to promote one of his females to one of the board positions. Ugh. Not like she deserved it anyways. Didn't. Absolutely didn't. Excuse me. He promotes her after hitting on her, and then it's a whole fucking thing where he's chasing her downstairs and berating her, and then he whacks his head on a pole. It should have been a pole, nothing round and opulent like a titty. It needs to be masculine and penis-like that he hits his head on. And he hits his head on a pole, and then he's in this universe where these fucking women are running the show. They're paramedics, and they're CEOs, and they're fucking like managers, and they're eating steak and drinking beer and sitting back and shooting shots and talking the shit. They're just like, they're Wayne Ivy in it. They're like, yep, feels good to be a woman. And it's this whole thing. They turn Sacha Baron Cohen into a pussy. They turn him into a faggot. He has a cat. He cooks, he cleans, he has to like clean himself up and stuff. It's horrible. He has to go and groom himself and make sure he looks nice, but not too nice, so that way he's not just a sexually demeaned thing. It's ridiculous. They went out of their way to make him into a bitch. He's grooming himself, and he's dressing not too floozily, and he's hitting on people just the right amount, and he's only getting promotions because of the way he puts out for the CEOs. I don't understand what they're trying to get at or why they made him do any of this stuff, but it just was not. I don't know. I guess as a guy, it just made me feel a little uncomfortable to see these women so dominating to him and just so like demeaning and treating him like he's just like he's just meat. Like he's just meat. You know, we're more than meat. I'm more than meat. And I think that it's just what was the whole point of this? Just fuck him? That was literally the whole point of the movie, is fuck him? God damn, man. There was one scene where he dressed like a little cowboy for his boss. He did the dance, he did the fucking helicopter. I would example, but this is YouTube and I'd get banned. Maybe OnlyFans one day. Maybe we'll have OnlyFans episodes where you're just going to see me dressed in leather and mankinis, and I'm going to be like interviewing sex addicts and stuff like that. Or I'll be like on the Adam 22 podcast, or it's going to be like the YMH podcast, where it's going to be like me and Dakota dressed in nothing but leather gear, just asking people, so what do you like to do in your spare time when you're not having sex? That would be a good podcast. I'd pay to watch that. Especially if I showed a little nip. I got nice nipples. When they're hard. Where was I at? He dressed like a cowboy for his boss, and then the boss died on him. And then he wound up falling in love for the lady who he fired in the other universe. And then at the end of the day, he changed back into being the boss, which he should have been the whole time. He should have, when he became the servant or the, like, worker, whatever you want to call it. He should have walked in that fucking office, pimp slapped them fucking hoes, just ming, right there in front of the office, and asserted fucking dominance as a man and slapped his penis on their foreheads. But he didn't do that. They turned him into a pussy. But at the end of the film, he falls in love with the woman and he blah, 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 after having sex with her, and then he promotes her. So at the end of the day, she complained about being viewed as a sexual object, but if she didn't put out in the other universe, she would have never actually gotten the promotion to begin with. So at the end of the day, I think the message of the film is when somebody offers you money or a promotion or something like that, or really anything important in this world, you should put out. And I think that's a beautiful note. I think that we're going to close out with a shot here, and that's the thing is, you know what? Brevard County sheriffs may not run. Brevard County citizens may not run. And Brevard County rockets may not run. But you know what? Men and women run the world. And props to this. Later, bitches. Ugh. Oh shit, before we go. There. Congratulations, graduations. Shabang.